It's rather steep there though, so it's hard to work cattle there because you can't breathe. It's a place for young people to work cattle.
It all started 100 years ago, fighting drought and blizzard, cattle prices began low. 100 years of ranching, they're still going now. They still make a living off them good old cows.
Alright, welcome back to Red Dirt in My Soul. I thought I'd continue your tour of the edges of the field, which is my typical walk this time of year, because it's the easiest to get to and the snow doesn't stay on around the edges. Easy to walk. Anyway, so I stopped the last video down the creek a ways, and now we've just come up a few yards. This is where our dam will go in the spring, and we'll back the water up so that it can go through the head gate right there and down into the ditch, and it will take ditch water all the way down and around to water that further field. So anyway, like I said before, flood irrigation is the popular way to do it around here. And this is our nice little pond. It's not very deep. There might be a couple holes where it might get down to 5 feet, but for the most part it's waist deep. It's a good place to bring the kids and put them on an inner tube and let them float around and get used to playing in water. As you can tell, there's a lot of weeds that grow up here, so actually in the summertime you can't hardly even make it to the creek on this side because of all the little plants that are growing up, the grass, and I don't know what else is down in there really. But so anyway, we come across here and you can see a gate right there that has a road, and that's the access for that head gate in that second field. So the trees, if you're wondering about the trees, they're mainly box elder trees, which is a variety of maple. And I have heard that indeed in the springtime you can tap these and get syrup from them, but the reason most people don't is it's even worse than the syrup maple trees. You have to boil them down. I guess the water content is a lot higher than even that, so nobody does it, but I've always thought I would someday. Again, remember we talked about using a chain? Oh, let's see. I guess maybe I wasn't aiming at the right place, but let's, again, for a brace, there's chain. Yeah, well, it works. So it's kind of unique. Booger's still along for the ride. She's not scared of my dogs or anything, and they come up and they rough her around, and she lays down and takes it, and she might run away, but then she'll stop and she'll let them come back. So I don't know. Anyway, and of course this is Bravo's got the tail. Eden is a natural bobtail. So sometimes their color is so similar that if you just get a glimpse of them, running by, you can't tell who's who. You have to look for the tail. Now, Bravo, of course, he'll change some colors. He'll get darker. English Shepherds are good about changing color. And so that'll come. I hope you can hear me over the creek and over the crunching of the snow. This is a nice alleyway, a little water gap here. It's what they're called, to give cattle access to the creek without letting them walk all along it. Anyway, so there's a little pasture up there on that hillside that we have, and so they can come down here and get a drink. And that's basically where we cross because it's so shallow. I don't know if you can see, if I zoom in past the woven wire and everything, you can see it's not a deep creek at all. You know, maybe a foot. This time of year, less than that probably. So, nice rocky bottom though. That's what makes it a good trout stream. The bigger creek in these parts is the Nowood, and so named supposedly because when the first cavalry detachments were coming through here, they could not find wood to build their fires, which is kind of unbelievable because there are trees everywhere these days. There are cottonwoods and box elders and not too much on our place, but there are some Russian olives. Of course, those are invasive species, or so they say now. And anyway, even willows, you know, there's a ton of willows. But anyway, that's why it was named the Nowood, and it has a muddy bottom to it, so it's not good for trout fishing, though if you can find the right hole, trout have been pulled out of it, but you gotta know where to fish. They gotta have a deep rocky hole to live in. So instead of walking, I'll zoom in here. Won't walk you clear around. I won't make such a long video this time. So if you look above Bravo, you can see the hillside below our sheds there, and Brandon has some of his cattle up there, and that long shed right there would have been the calving shed, the milking parlor on the left side there. There's a big old round granary. All these are sloping so that they catch that southern sun, so the cattle will have a dry place to be. It's rather steep there though, so it's hard to work cattle there because you can't breathe. It's a place for young people to work cattle. The big red barn you always see in my pictures is right there behind that other shed, and that shed is all they have for really working facilities, and our other place is set up much better to work cows. Then we have a little hay shed where we store hay and feed some to the bulls. There's a loading dock there. The red building right there is a granary, and I have often thought it would make a great guest cabin if you put some windows in that thing. It's in pretty good shape. We just use it for storing different things. Brandon uses it a lot. There's our big metal shop that the guys use a lot. Dogs are playing. Okay, these big cottonwood trees right there, as you can see, they're huge cottonwood trees, and this is probably one of the few times I've been out here that there is not a bald eagle in them. They really like to come and sit there and chatter to each other and everything. Let's see, we'll zoom back in. That building, oops, sorry, dog bumped me. That building there is my garage. Horse trailers, flatbed trailers. The one there with the Dutch door on it, that's my studio again. It looks down here on the field. Got a nice wood stove and bed in it, and it's really nice. Then there's just a couple other outbuildings back there, shops and storage. Anyway, so that's basically this place, and that's a big long tour. And I guess we'll just end this one right here. It's only about half as long as the other one, but I can't think of too much more to tell you guys than what I've told you before. And let me know if you like these longer ones, or if you want me to stick to the little minute movies. Minute movies are easy to make, but sometimes you don't get the whole perspective of things. So I think I'll just leave you right here with him. Looky there. That is a Lucas pose. Now, Lucas was his uncle. Levi's his dad. But that was a Lucas pose. I don't know if Levi does that, but Lucas sure used to. Alright. Thanks for watching Red Dirt in My Soul. See you next time.